Fantasy football is back. So are we. It's going to be a great season. Quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, you name it, we got them. And then a fun segment to end all of that off on the other side of the Red Zone Blitz.
You're tuned in to the Red Zone Blitz.
Here we go.
The home for all things NFL and college football.
Ready?
What is going on, KK? What is happening?
Beautiful sunny day with the birds still chirping.
The birds are chirping. Happy World Cup kickoff day to you. The FIFA World Cup kicks off today. At the time of recording, we are recording a little bit, usually at our normal time. It might be slightly earlier, but the birds have started chirping outside. It's a beautiful day. It's sunny day. Birds are chirping, a great time. So apologies if you hear any of those birds in your ears. How are you doing, KK? How's it going?
Fantastic.
Love that. You know what? Fantasy football around the corner. We're here to talk about a little bit of this will be a shorter episode, but it'll be a little teaser to some of our fantasy football content that's coming along the way. So how we're going to do this, we're going to make this real simple. We got 3 quarterbacks, we got 3 running backs, we got 3 wide receivers. We're going to go through each person, and we're going to make the case why they should be the number 1 at their position. And then we got a fun little segment at the end for KK to rate, as KK is known as the Love Machine. All right, KK, where would you like to start?
I guess you got to start with always the number 1 quarterback lately, Josh Allen.
Okay, I guess we're starting with quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, QB1 in last season, 365 fantasy points. That's top 2 fantasy finishes to 6 consecutive seasons. Nobody else at any position has that kind of run. 14 rushing touchdowns, 41 over the last 3 seasons. A rushing touchdown is worth more than a passing touchdown in almost every format of fantasy football that you play. And Josh Allen owns that goal line like no quarterback ever has. I mean, my question to you for this one is, you are going in with, James Cook, who had the rushing title for the most amount of rushing yards, 1,621. You did see that he threw for 3,668 yards this past year. That's his lowest as Buffalo's full-time starter. Now, the passing volume is shrinking every year. At what point do you think Josh Allen is a running back wearing a quarterback's number?
He's always kind of being a running back wearing a quarterback's number. But he takes command of that offense.
Now, okay, do you think the fact that we harp on Buffalo all the time, we say, hey, they got to get a wide receiver for Josh Allen.
They still don't have a number 1 receiver.
Correct. Is the fact that they don't have a number 1 wide receiver for Josh Allen, or a true number 1, I guess, is that helpful or hurtful to fantasy football owners? Because is it a better thing that Josh Allen has less weapons to throw to, so he has to run the ball? Or do you think it's better if he had gotten a little bit more help throwing the ball and getting guys open? Where do you stand on that?
I think he needs a number 1 receiver that doesn't demand the football as much as other number 1s, like A.J. Brown leaving Philly. He didn't get the ball. You know what I mean? Like, DJ Moore is good there, but he needs a reliable pass catcher.
Do you think that would help his fantasy football production?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, another weapon.
But
right? Like James Cook had a fabulous season a year ago.
But someone would argue.
But that's also taking the pressure off Josh Allen.
So he's
not going to be as worn out as he has been.
That's kind of where I was going. It's like, I agree with you that they would likely need another weapon. You probably will see a dip in Josh Allen's fantasy production if he has another weapon to throw to, because now some of those touchdowns might be going to that weapon. Correct? And he may not be running around doing all the things he does, but you're going to get a more effective Josh Allen. Less hits to the body. And then you also have defenses that now have to be humbled in terms of playing the wide receivers. Whereas right now they're zeroing in on Josh Allen and James Cook. So it kind of goes both ways.
I really think they dropped the ball in not going after Mike Evans.
Yes.
Like a big red zone target.
A big target that they can go and, chuck up the ball to, and he's just going to come down with it. Now 14 rushing touchdowns. I mean, that's an outlier even for Josh Allen. If that number comes back to earth, let's say 8, he's suddenly in the pack with Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Trevor Lawrence. When it comes down to it, and you're looking to, maybe you have the number 1 pick this year in fantasy football, are you drafting the player or are you drafting last year's touchdown luck? Do you think that touchdown prowess will continue on this year, or do you think that was a one-time thing?
Well, he's definitely going to be up there for QB1 next year, but if you're drafting fantasy-wise, if you have keepers or a dynasty team, your drafting is what your team needs. Whereas if you're just drafting the best player because you have nobody, Josh Allen should be your number 1.
Now, a little bit of a curveball, because this guy's not going to be one of the guys that we discussed here. Drake May, you have him on your team.
Mm-hmm.
He finished,
what a steal of a pick.
He finished 14 points behind Josh Allen as QB2 at 23 years old in his second season. If you're starting a fantasy dynasty tonight, which means you will hold on to most of your roster for come forth and going forward, are you still taking the guy turning 30?
No.
Oh.
If you're doing a dynasty team, why would you want older players that are going to start to decline in a year or two?
But some would argue that Josh Allen is the guy. He's going to win you your league.
I don't know about that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about that.
Okay, Buffalo fans. Okay. Now we're going to go on to the next one.
If you're building your dynasty, you want to have guys that are going to be on your team for at least 4 to 5 years, wouldn't you?
But I think it's more so like you're looking at it like Josh Allen's 30. He's well likely going to play until he's 36. Probably won't be able to play like that until he's 36, 38. Who knows? Maybe he does. But the thing is right now he's probably, people are saying, and this argument will be made with the other 2 players, the best player for fantasy football at his position.
Yeah, right now he definitely
makes the argument. He makes the argument. Now, the other person that's making the argument, and I think we can say, is the number 1 pick isn't always the safest player. It's the best return on investment. Lamar holds the all-time single-season fantasy record for a quarterback set 18 months ago, and you can now draft him at a discount because he's not going to go number 1. He's not going to go number 2. That combination probably doesn't exist anywhere else. I mean, 2024 was the greatest fantasy quarterback season ever recorded. 430.4 points, 41 touchdowns against 4 interceptions, 915 rushing yards. All of that is coming out there. Now, 2025, he was injured. He spent a lot of time on injury. Week 4 hamstring issue. Then he went through a knee, ankle, toe, back issue. Even broken, he posted 21 touchdowns to 7 interceptions in 13 games. Listen, 2 MVPs before the age of 29. He gets a fresh start. Jesse Minter takes over as head coach. Yes, Linderbaum is left in free agency.
But it's not a fresh start. He's still in.
No, but he gets a fresh start in play calling. Like you're not running.
Whereas Josh Allen pretty much has the same.
He has the same play caller, so it's like that might be a good thing or a bad thing. Now, why do you think, make the case for Lamar Jackson? Why do you think 2026 will be different for him?
New coach?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's gonna help.
I think he's got to be hungry. Just as Josh Allen.
That is the most important thing.
These guys got to win now.
That is the most important thing, and I'm glad you bring that up. Hunger, chip on your shoulder, the drive to win, the drive to prove people wrong, and in a division where anything's possible. It is the one division in football where there's no clear-cut runner away. So I'm glad you mentioned that. It is a lot of his stuff will come down to being mental and staying healthy, of course. That is also important. Are you concerned at all with his legs?
Lamar,
Just with the injuries he's faced, he's
I
another.
would probably say yes, because he is getting older and he has had some injuries.
He's also another guy who they don't seem to get help for. In terms of wide receivers, in terms of getting him some help, like
kind of in the same boat as Josh Allen.
Yeah, they don't really seem to reward him with that true.
And very similar quarterbacks. Well, they both run.
Yeah, very similar style. Correct.
Yeah.
Where would you rate him? Like, where would you in a 12-person league? Where would you draft Lamar Jackson if you were gonna put a draft position stock on him? Let's say it's a regular PPR league.
Like just like drafting quarterbacks or like every player?
Every player. 12 team.
And it's a QB kind of PPR league?
It's not a super flex.
flex.
It's not a super flex. So it's a regular.
Regularly? Well,
Yeah.
then you're not really going after too many quarterbacks right off the bat.
Where would
I'd probably put him just outside the top 10.
top 10 players drafted?
Yeah.
Higher or lower than Josh Allen?
Lower. I still think Josh Allen's the defending champ for quarterbacks.
Love that. Love that. Now your third quarterback, he's a little different. We talked about two guys that are dual threat quarterbacks. Mr. Joe Burrow. The case for Joe Burrow, healthy Burrow, I think, is a top 3 lock. We talk about a guy, we talked about two quarterbacks that don't have a lot of receiving weapons. Joe Burrow's probably got, in my eyes, the second best receiver duo in football. In Jahmyr Chase and T. Higgins.
To me, it's the best receiving.
Each their own. And I think for the first time in his career, the infrastructure around him is actually being built to keep him upright. You know, they're getting reinforcements there. Now he led the entire NFL in completions in 2024, passing yards 4,918. He had a broken year last year. I mean, he came in, didn't come in. I mean, a turf toe issue is probably the most recoverable injury a quarterback can have. He's got, like you said, weapons that nobody can match. Jahmyr Chase led the NFL in targets and receptions with backups throwing to him.
Well, he's a different style quarterback than Lamar and Josh Allen.
Correct. He's got weapons, right? They've surrounded him with weapons. Now with Jahmyr Chase, 8 games, KK. If you drafted Joe Burrow last year and he was your QB1, you got 8 games out of him. No number one quarterback really is giving you the confidence with 8 games. You need them to be healthy. Turf toe, torn ligament surgery in September. Why would you draft Joe Burrow as your QB1 this upcoming year? If you had to. If the other two were gone, QB, you looking down the barrel, you know, you're sitting there, you're thinking, what message do you have to that fantasy football manager there that's probably sitting at the laptop being like, why would I take this guy?
Well, if you can get, it depends on where you're picking. If you have a high pick, you're going Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Well, no, I'm saying
if you're building your team,
let's just say I want to paint the picture for you. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are gone off the board. You are in the middle rounds, right? Maybe the 3rd, maybe the 4th round, maybe even the 2nd round. Why make the case for somebody
he
to
would
draft?
be a steal in the 3rd or 4th round.
Make the case. Why would he be a steal?
If he plays a full game, he's pretty much the best quarterback out there, passing wise.
A full season, you mean?
Full season.
Yeah.
Full season. You got Jahmyr Chase. Every ball that you throw could be a home run ball right there. The yards after catch by him, Higgins, and stuff. I mean, you're wrecking up those points. He's an elite passer. I mean, I think he has the best completion percentage in football in history. I think it was like 69%, I think.
Oh, hello. Great number. Okay, nobody. That joke did not land.
Touchdowns, like if he's playing a full year, he's going to have an MVP type season, possibly a Super Bowl.
I just want
the weapons are all there.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing.
I mean, a lot of guys are going after Josh Allen and Lamar. So if you're building your team around and you can get it, say Chase with your high pick, and then round 2 or 3 or 4.
And I know people are
Joe
going to be.
Burrow?
I know people are going to be a little mad. People are going to be a little mad with my takes right now. I'm going to upset a little people.
Now you got that 1-2 punch.
He's in a division with when he gets to play the Browns without Myles Garrett twice and the Steelers twice. Those are great matchups for Joe Burrow. He eats them alive. Like, and that's what I think is the Joe Burrow. Like, will I be comfortable drafting Joe Burrow in the first round? No. Will I be comfortable drafting Joe Burrow ahead of some mobile quarterbacks? No. But when it comes down to it, if you ended up lucking out, you took Ja'Marr Chase in the first round, or you took a T. Higgins in the second or third round, and you have an opportunity to get a stack, if you can get this guy in the third or the fourth round, yes, jump all over it. And if you're in a super flex, and I know his running potential is scary because he doesn't run the ball a whole lot. You know what he does do? Sling that thing.
I mean, does he need to run when he's got those weapons?
Exactly. He slings it. And I think that's where my argument comes down for Joe Burrow is in those moments. Is those moments of, you know what? Like, you will get the crazy 40-point game from Joe Burrow because you get it from Ja'Marr Chase. And Ja'Marr Chase gave you that with backups.
And that's your stack. That could be a 60, 70-point.
That's a 60, 70-point swing in 1 week. Hello, championship. Moving on. We're going to keep it moving. Let's go down to running backs. Let's start with good old Christian McCaffrey. Scoreboard, I think that's probably the best thing to say about Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey was the PPR running back 1 in 2025, 416.6 points, nearly 50 clear of the field. The debate is who's number 1, and I think he kind of showed everyone last year what he's all about if they didn't already know. I mean, like we talked about, 416.6 PPR points for him. Bijan had 370.8. Gibbs had 366.9. I think one of the most valuable skills that McCaffrey has over anybody else is 102 catches for 924 yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. You need him to be healthy. Every time McCaffrey has played a full season, 2019, 2023, and 2025, he has finished as the overall PPR running back 1. 3 full seasons, 3 crowns. You need him to be healthy.
Well, he's still the GOAT of the dual threat running back.
Exactly. He is that guy. Now, when it comes to Christian McCaffrey, what's your number 1 concern?
Age, maybe now?
Yeah. Well, also,
I think his injury is fine.
Their practice facility being next to what it is, that's a little trippy. But
I think he's probably at the top of the mountain, coming back down. Like, I think the 49ers already said they don't want to give him the ball as much as they used to.
Yeah. And
that might be a downfall, but I mean,
but they always say that kind of stuff every year. They always
said
say
that last year, and he just took off.
And we're gonna do more research. We're gonna do. Well, this is honestly just an eye test. Like, this episode will be an eye test. We will come back with more detailed analysis on Christian McCaffrey and where exactly his average draft position should be. It's hard to bet against Christian McCaffrey.
People were last year, especially in our fantasy pool, and look what happened.
He fell down in the second round in ours, and ours is a super flex league, but still fell down in the second round. But it's hard.
Still ended up number 1.
It's hard to bet against that dog. He is a absolute just menace.
And he's also one of those guys that will get you the 40 to 50 point
100%.
week.
He'll win you your
Day in and day
championship.
out.
He'll win you your championship. I had him in one of my leagues last year. He won me the championship. Just consistent, and his value was all the way down. The problem, the only curse I have with McCaffrey is you saw those years. You saw 2023, and then there's an injury-riddled season. You saw 2019, and then there's a gap in there. So my only concern is 2025 was spectacular, brilliant, chef's kiss. Now, the only concern I have with that is that now are you drafting him too high and getting burned? Is that what
Do you think he's gonna get injured again?
Well, my thing is people often end up being disappointed when he gets that high stock. When he gets drafted number 1, 2, 3, people get disappointed. Last year, he was a second-round pick in our league, for example. It was a super flex 12-man league. You drafted him in the second round.
At the same time, he was a second-round pick as he came off the injury.
Exactly. But your expectations were tempered. If you draft a guy in the first 3 overall picks, your expectations are this guy's got to be like my main point getter.
Yeah.
This guy's got to be the guy. So it'll be interesting to see. As of right now, I don't have anybody else taking the crown for him. I think he's number 1 right now. Just purely eye test out of respect, out of what he's done. I got to give it to him. But we got to talk about 2 other guys. Let's start with your boy, Jahmyr Gibbs. KK, you start off with Gibbs. I mean, the most explosive scorer at the position, the best points per touch player in football. I mean, that is still everything you've seen out of Jahmyr Gibbs is still early on in his career. There is so much more room for Jahmyr Gibbs to grow and to become the player that like maybe surpasses Christian McCaffrey, maybe surpasses
This could be the year because there's no David Montgomery. He's the main feature.
That was going to be my big thing. I mean, 30 Montgomery carries carry over, right? Like you get some of his timeshares that were going to Montgomery carrying over to Jahmyr Gibbs. Now you're cooking. A little bit. Detroit was heavily underperforming last year. They did not do a great job. They're all over the place. It was a mess. The pressure will be back on Detroit. Now, my question with Jahmyr Gibbs is he got the fewest carries. Like, I mean, he was 243 carries, 44 fewer than Bijan, 80 fewer than Taylor. David Montgomery scored 8 touchdowns standing next to him. Do you think, watching Detroit Lions football, being the Lions fan on the podcast, do you think with the exit of David Montgomery, do you think this is turning into a cowbell system, or is this going to stay a 2-man backfield?
It's a cowbell system. You're going to feed the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs over and over and over again.
That's what
they've already stated, that they're also going to line him up as a wideout, as a receiver.
That would be something.
But that's the thing is, you give him the ball, whether he's in the backfield or as a receiver, he's at home run potential right there.
So I share sentiment with you here because I also cheered for Mr. Ezekiel Elliott, and you know how much I love Zeke. Love Zeke. I still love Zeke, even though his body like crashed and burned. But I love Ezekiel Elliott. A lot of my passion and love for Ezekiel Elliott was blinded by the star. Was blinded with those glasses that I wore, and it was just. He plays for the Cowboys. He's explosive. He's great. He's amazing. He's the best ever to do it. Would you have the same, first of all, number one, the question, is Jahmyr Gibbs your favorite running back in the league?
Right now?
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Would he still be your favorite if he played for the Packers and not the Lions?
Probably not if he played on the Packers.
No, it's okay. Hey, it's okay to have a homer pick. It's okay to be like, hey, I love this guy because he plays for the Lions. And you know what? Like that's good enough for me. But that is an important thing. Like we often, when we're rating these players or we're talking about these players, we do get a little soft corner for these players. And it will be interesting to see how when we dive deeper into these next few weeks, we're only a couple months away from it really coming to life here. It will be interesting to see where you rate Jahmyr Gibbs from like an impartial perspective, where not as a Lions fan, but as an analyst. But listen, where would you rate him right now?
Fantasy wise?
Yeah. Like, are you taking him top 10?
I'm taking him top 10, but he's probably my number 2 running back right now.
Okay. All right. Before you give me the rankings, Bijan Robinson. Okay. My guy. A big fan of Bijan. I had him on my team last year. Got no flaw. He's got no flaw. He's elite volume, elite receiving, elite efficiency, perfect health, age 23. Yep. No flaw. None at all. 2,298 scrimmage yards.
Well, let me just say right now, he's also my number 1 right now, ahead of Gibbs.
Well, you jumped the gun here. There you go.
Because of the volume he gets.
Okay, there's only one. I mean, the only one caveat that I have, and he's going under a new coach, he's going under a new system, everything's coming in brand new, and the guy that stole all his touches is gone too. Tyler Algier took a lot of goal line touches. They took a lot of touch. It was very frustrating to watch. There's many a times where Bijan would do all the work. All we need is just to punch it in 1 yard. It's a beautiful time.
Isn't that very similar to Gibbs?
Yep.
Where Montgomery will get the ball.
And now, new system, everything else, it's great. Do you think the fact that Algier is gone helps his case?
Who is their backup right now?
Right now, the Falcons, that's a good question. I mean, right now, as of today, Brian Robinson Jr. 2 Robinsons. 2B Robinsons. Make sure you guys don't draft the wrong one.
I would probably say no because it's Tyler Algier, and now you got Brian Robinson coming in. I think it could end up being... Well, they got a new coach, so it depends what the coach calls, right?
They also have no idea what they're doing at quarterback. Right? So that is a big question mark.
So that means that for Atlanta, he's your main guy. He's your main feed.
And that is where I'm going with this. Where
Gibbs isn't like the main feed in Detroit. He's also sharing that feed.
And right now, Penix, they haven't made a decision on Michael Penix. They have not made a decision on whether Tua Tagovailoa will be the quarterback. So there are question marks in that quarterback room. So that's kind of where my question marks fall with the Falcons. It's not so much if they're slow out of the gate, it's going to be a problem. They need Drake London going, and Drake London got paid. So Drake London has to be he has to turn that engine. Like, he is a wide receiver 1 in that team. He has to be productive, because if he's not productive, teams will start to stack the box. Teams will just start giving up, and they'll be like, you know what? They're just going to run it with him 30 times a game. We're just going to stack the box. We're going to stuff him. So my thing is, they got to sort out that quarterback situation. So for me right now, eye test wise, I'm going to give the guy, I'm going to give it to C-Mac number 1, because there's been no changes. There's been no changes whatsoever in his situation. Everything is going exactly how it was before. So I'll give it to him. And number 2, I will probably give it to Bijan. I think Bijan Robinson, I had him last year. It was a blast. It was a great time. It was phenomenal. Love it. And then number 3, I'll go Jahmyr Gibbs. What's your number 1, 2, and 3?
My number 1 is still Bijan.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just been consistent and he's still growing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with Gibbs number 2 because I think he's going to have a big year, especially when he's getting the ball more. He's also wide out.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey could still take the throne.
Oh boy.
But I also the 40, who's it? Shanahan has come out and said they're not giving the ball as much this year. So it's probably going to be more of a team game. That's why I'm probably putting him at number 3 right now.
Okay. And now finishing off this analysis with our wide receivers. I mean, we got to make the first one JSN. Hello, how are you? From my angle as the introduction, the most quarterback-proof receiver alive. He just led the NFL in receiving yards, won Offensive Player of the Year, won the Super Bowl with a quarterback who turned the ball over 20 times. JSN is JSN. I mean, he's going to get that continuation back. I know Kenneth Walker is gone, but they're bringing in Jadarian Price. I mean, they're going to have Rashid Shaheed step up in a bigger role. You're going to get Zach Charbonnet back. He's going to be recovering off an injury. I mean, 15.1 yards per catch on 119 receptions. Elite volume, elite explosiveness. Sam Darnold, his quarterback, coughed it up 20 times, and he still led the league. You look at some of these other these other wide receivers, like you look at Puka, you need an MVP season from Stafford to get those metrics. You look at Chase, you need Joe Burrow, and you need him to come back, and you need him to salvage the plays. JSN just gets it done.
But you're also talking about how the other 2 have elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So can Sam Darnold once again get the ball to JSN?
Correct.
And they lost their offensive coordinator.
So what do you think?
He's not my number 1.
No. Do you think Sam Darnold can get
it done again?
Yeah. Don't rate them before the end of the segment, KK. KK keeps rating. No. He's my number 1. He's my number 2.
I don't see Sam Darnold having a season as he did a year ago.
I know some Seahawks fans are going to be listening, so I'm going to crank up the volume on your dial.
I'd like to see how he performs this year. I don't think he's gonna have a bad season, but I think teams are going to start to figure out their offense, how to stop Sam Darnold, how to stick on JSN.
So your belief is that this year it will be a step back versus a step forward.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, do you trust? And okay, so a lot of what you said was about Sam Darnold, right? Do you think JSN could go even a step higher as a receiver? Like, do you think his individual route running, his coming out a little bit more bulk, do you believe in JSN, the receiver, to take a step forward, although he may not get the same?
Oh yeah, he will take a step forward.
Yeah,
but will he get the same volume from his quarterback?
There you go. That's an interesting point you made there. That's an interesting point.
Like, he doesn't have Stafford or Burrow, who are like elite year after year.
Well, I guess we got to talk about the guy then. Now you mentioned his name, Mr. MVP's number one wide receiver, Puka Nacua, 375 wide receiver points in PPR formats. I mean, he holds the belt. He's the number one wide receiver when it comes to statistics. Matthew Stafford, of course, winning MVP, 4,707 yards, 46 touchdowns. Then he announced his return and signed a fresh deal. McVay back, Stafford back, schemes intact. They got Myles Garrett, Aaron Donald's coming back. All things are well. I'll ask the tough question out first. Do you find it concerning about Puka Nacua, the off-field stuff?
Yes. Can he come back mentally prepared to have another MVP type season? Yeah, and win a Super Bowl?
Because that's the goal, right?
Like, you've got Stafford, who's almost done. You got Myles Garrett coming in, Trent McDuffie, Aaron Donald might come out of retirement.
You got
the pieces are there, and you've got to be in check and focused.
Super Bowl's in your backyard, baby.
Like, if you're mentally not there, you might be out of town soon.
Well, and I also think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, unfortunately, because the Rams didn't draft a receiver in the first round, like a lot of people thought they were going to do, or the tight end out of Oregon. They went the Ty Simpson route.
Yeah,
risky. And that's going to add on. That's going to up the heat. That's going to up the heat on your offense. It's going to up the heat on.
I mean, they must know inside that Puka will be ready come training camp.
Well, he has to be. He has no choice.
I mean, maybe what he's doing now, like, is he's just trying to enjoy life.
No, nobody.
He's trying to enjoy life the Puka way.
KK giving him the blessing to enjoy life is beautiful.
Maybe that's what he's doing.
Oh my God. Is there any concern with Puka Nacua not being like a prominent red zone wide receiver one, with Devontae Adams catching 14 touchdowns and Puka?
No, because you're bringing back the same offense a year ago.
You got no issues there.
You're bringing back the same offense.
Okay, amazing. And speaking about bringing back the same offense, same coach, same everything, Ja'Marr Chase. I mean, 18 months ago, Ja'Marr Chase won the receiving triple crown, led the NFL in catches, yards, and touchdowns. The only thing that changed since then is his quarterback's toe, and the toe is healed now, according to sources. 2025 was a floor test, probably. That's probably as low as it's going to go. NFL high, 185 targets, 125 catches for 1,412 yards with Jake Browning and a 40-year-old Joe Flacco at quarterback. That's his worst case scenario. Volume is probably the one stat that never lies. He had back-to-back seasons of 175 plus targets. Target share is probably the most predictive stat in fantasy football, and no receiver alive commands the football like Ja'Marr Chase. You add in the fact that he's got a running mate in T. Higgins, take the pressure off him a little bit. Hey, it works. Now, why do you do you think the bounce back is going to happen this year? And B, why?
Yes.
That was emphatic.
Yes. Oh. Well, Joe Burrow, I've already said.
No, I love it.
In full year.
I love it.
But just for the Bengals in perspective, this has to be a Super Bowl year for them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. There is no.
Like, if they have another crappy season, both of them might be leaving town. But for Ja'Marr Chase, targets, volume. Mm-hmm. He gets the ball like 2 to 3 times more than a lot of number one receivers get it.
100%.
And when you give him the ball, he's ready to take it to the house.
Yeah.
He's explosive.
No, I agree with you. I think he's
consistent. Year after year, he's up there.
he is so dominant at the position. And so if you live on probably the West Coast, I'll speak to the West Coast people that watch football. Jahmyr Chase will give you one of these every year. You're out partying on Saturday night, right? You come home too late. You don't take an Advil before you go to bed. You don't do any of that kind of stuff. You are just, it is what it is. You've slept. It's 3 a.m. You wake up. It's about, let's say it's about 1:30. So the afternoon slate is just starting, the second half of games. And you'll wake up, and either your opponent will have Jahmyr Chase or you will have Jahmyr Chase. And you'll sit there and you'll wake up and Jahmyr Chase has put up like 70 points.
Those are fun times.
No, but it happens every single year. Sometimes it happens multiple times a year, but it's guaranteed for 1 week. You will either play Jahmyr Chase or you will have Jahmyr Chase, and you'll wake up and you'll be like, wow, 70 points. My team must be doing great. Or, man, his team's killing me. Which one of his players went off? And it's just Jahmyr Chase. And he's got his entire team still left to play. And Jahmyr Chase just got you 70 points before you woke up.
That's why you should draft him at number 1.
And that's why people do. Now, let's hear your ranking, KK. Give me your ranking.
Receivers?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Jahmyr Chase, number 1.
Damn. Okay.
I'd probably go still with Puka, number 2, and JSN, number 3.
Damn. All right. Okay. Whew. So I have in our fantasy football league, our house league, you guys are going to hear us talk about this league, the GFL, quite some time. We're going to bring it up quite a lot. I have JSN as a keeper. So I'm no disrespect. Jahmyr Chase is number 1.
I did have Jahmyr Chase last year and ended up trading him.
Yeah, you did trade him.
To the champion.
To the champ. Jahmyr Chase is a champion in our league. I will go Puka. JSN number 2, and I'll go Puka number 3. Just because of the off-field issues, I'm just not certain that those things are clear. I'm a little bit concerned, so I will go. I'll go Puka number 3. Bless. All right. Now to close off the segment, we are going to do a little fun little segment. KK is going to keep on with the rating. So instead of guessing 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to read you some prompts, and you're going to go in. So I'm going to read you the first prompt. That will be the base. I'm going to read you the second one. You're going to say, okay, the second one's either number 1 or the original stays. I'm going to keep doing that. And then we're eventually going to find out what your number 1 is. The topic, the craziest ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend stories. Submitted by people on the internet. All right. This is the base. All right. You're going to have to, this is what everybody has to beat. Ex-girlfriend tried to hit me with her car, chased me down an alley in which a fence too high to jump was on one side and condos on the other. Proceeded to call me the next day at work and tell me that I looked like a sexy cheetah running away from her car. That's the base. The next story. 2 years later, after I ended things, she attempted to contact me again. I wasn't having it. After a few failed attempts, she sent another message that said, quote, "You better find your God now because I'm going to fucking murder you." Sexy cheetah or this one?
I'd go with sexy cheetah.
Okay, next one. My girlfriend told me the week before I went to college that I got her pregnant, knowing that we were not going to date long distance. She sent me a picture of a stock photo pregnancy test she cropped that was positive. I literally just Google searched positive pregnancy tests, and it was one of the first ones I made. It was one of the first ones. I made her come over and take another one. It was negative. She left. Which one are we going with?
I'm going number that one.
This pregnancy test?
Yeah, the pregnancy test.
Okay. Next one. When I broke up with my ex, he became so hysterical that the only way he would let me leave was if after the breakup we continued to be best friends. Not just any kind of best friends either. He wanted me to still come over for sleepovers and share his bed with him. He told me that any other guy I dated after him had to be 100% okay with this, or else I couldn't date him. I think that might be the cut.
Probably go with that one.
Yeah, I think this might be number 1. I got some more. My first boyfriend tried to convince me he had slashed his wrist because I wouldn't take him back. The blood was very obviously Catalina salad dressing. That's a very chooch move. Very chooch move. Do you rate that higher? Or Worse?
Worse.
So this is number 1, the Catalina salad dressing.
No, the one
Oh,
before that one.
the
one before that.
The one before with the sleepover. Okay.
That one was just stupid.
My high school girlfriend told me she had cancer after our first date. She asked me not to tell anyone and that her parents got really upset if it was mentioned, so to not talk about it with anyone. I dated her for 6 months. She turned herself anorexic to appear sickly. Once I started making friends, no one understood why I was with her and I kept her secret. Well, I finally put 2 and 2 together after she told me she was going in for chemo on a Monday. She said she wasn't going to be at school for at least a week. I caught her trying to hide from me before the first class and asked her how her chemo went. She said it went so well and that all her hair fell out, but they sewed it all together and sewed the wig to her head. That's got to be number 1.
Yeah.
That's got to be number 1 here. Okay, I'm almost done with these. I got one more. My ex found out my rebound had pierced nipples. Completely normal response. She pierces hers, shows up at my apartment, climbs up to my balcony, waits for me to come home topless.
I like that one.
I
like that one.
Like the love
topless.
Oh, good love machine likes this one. Oh my days. Okay, I got one last one. All right, this is the last one. My ex somehow thought that taking her to a fancy dinner meant that I was going to propose to her. When it didn't happen, it led to a downward spiral of her cutting herself and at one point attempting to jump out of my car as I was driving. That a little crazy.
I still like the one before that one.
Like the topless one?
The topless one, yeah.
Well, do you like that because you love that's what you KK, you're a man of culture. They call you the love machine. I want you to give some advice to people. Like, what should people do after a breakup so they don't act crazy like this?
And a lot of those ones,
Yeah.
the person's got to get down with the crazy people.
But like, what is okay? Yes, I understand. They gotta leave. But like, what's your advice to people? Like, okay, let's say you're talking to Melissa. Melissa,
Take a vacation.
There it is. There's the love machine coming in. Like talk to the Melissa, the poor girl that got her heart broken. Her boyfriend dumped her, and now she's thinking about going crazy. But then now KK's voice is coming in her brain. And what message would you give her?
Take a vacation, maybe for a year.
Oh, a year vacation.
You want to come back in a week and then you see the guy again?
Okay,
brings back memories.
I'm liking this elaborate plan. Okay,
move away for a year.
Where would you take? Where should she take a vacation for a year? What are the destinations she should go to? A single Melissa.
For me, if you want to get away and relax and all that, Hawaii.
Okay, that is the plan. If you are broken up with, you move to Hawaii for a year. That is blessed from the. There are a lot of. Okay, I will say though, I met a lot of people in Pittsburgh, and I don't know what it is about my face, what it is about my voice. I heard so many women came up to me and just decided to start telling me sob stories about their love life. They didn't ask me who I was. They didn't ask me how I was doing. They didn't ask me, like, very nice to meet you. Nothing. Just start telling me about how fucked their ex-husband was. I will say too many people are getting married too young. There are a lot of people I met that were separated and they're like 24. Or they're like,
that's what happens when you get married too young.
Yeah. And it's like, or they're single parents and they're like 22. And I'm like, what happened? They're like, oh, well, he just, left. And I'm like, there's no backstory to why he left? No, I just don't know where he is. I'm like, geez, fuck. Like, what the fuck? What's going on here? How many kids are there? They're just running around because they don't know what dad is. Makes you think, KK. Makes you think.
Maybe they saw the craziness, so they took off.
That is true.
You can't find them.
That is true. That probably is what it was. That you're not wrong. By the way, if any ladies want to hit our DMs, Red Zone Blitz podcast @gmail.com. The Love Machine KK is here. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. KK, can we get a little shout out for the Instagram? Where can the ladies slide in them DMs?
You can find me at KK Red Zone Blitz.
There he is. He is KK Red Zone Blitz. Go follow him. Listen, if you don't follow the main channel, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Go follow Red Zone Blitz Pod on Instagram, X, TikTok, all the places. You can visit our website, www.redzoneblitzpodcast.com. And also YouTube. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Red Zone Blitz Podcast. We're going to be coming out with a lot of content. You know what? This was a little teaser into some of our fantasy football talk. A lot of people have been begging for it. A lot of people want to hear us talk about fantasy football. I got a lot of surprises for you guys. We're going to have some interviews with some esteemed analysts. Yes, go ahead, KK.
And if you're a fantasy football player, start doing your homework now.
Yes. If you're in any league, there's a public call out to the GFL. KK's bought his first magazine.
Although from the guy that won in ours last year, it feels like I should just throw all my papers out the door.
Damn. We're going to get him on. We're going to get him on. We're going to get him on. It's going to be
congrats to him.
We're going to get him on. We're going to call him in. It's going to be a marvelous time. We're going to get him called. We're calling him in pretty soon here in the coming weeks, our defending champ. But until then, this is G.
I'm KK.
All right, we're out. Have a good time. Go watch some soccer and have some beers.